Okay, we are fortunate enough today to have Tom from Cimalpes in Val d'Isere. Tom, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about Cimalpes and where you are and where your office is, because I'm sure I'll be insanely jealous.
So CMAP is basically in 18 different ski resorts today, 23 agencies in total, and so we have open valves there. So quite a long time ago in valves there, so which is the first basically the first agency in the upper part of the Tarentaise Valley, which then once we've kind of developed ourselves in Val d'Isere, we've opened then Tignes, Les Arcs, and La Rosière. So we in Val d'Isere. So personally, I've been working for CMAP for 2.5 years. I'm born in Val d'Isere, grew up in Val d'Isere. So and for me and my other colleagues who I work with, most of them are as well born here. My colleague Arthur is so we grew up together here in Val d'Isere, so we know perfectly our market and Val d'Isere itself as well.
And you can vouch for the medical system, I assume, because you're still alive.
Exactly.
Tom, just for someone that kind of like, I would assume that most people that buy in Val d'Isere, maybe this is contrary to what you think, but I assume that most people that buy in Val d'Isere are familiar with the Val d'Isere as a ski area. But for the people that maybe are considering investing in Val d'Isere, can you just give us a little bit of the layout in terms of the main areas, Le Fournet, Le Dye? How does it work in the valley? Yeah.
So what's really interesting in Val d'Isere is, first, we've got a ski resort that's all gravitates around one centre compared to other ski resorts like Tignes, Courchevel, Méribel, where you're more on different levels. What's interesting in Val d'Isere is wherever you're in, whatever hamlet you're in, basically you're in a minimum 15-minute walk from the center itself. So we're close from slopes, we're close from the center wherever we're at in Val d'Isere. So we've got Le Dye that's at the entry of Val d'Isere that we consider quite far as a walking distance from the centre. So, I mean, we've got 3 buses all day round that come by every 5 minutes to access to, well, different, I mean, for the centre, to go to the nursery slopes and all that. Le Dye, what's interesting is that it's a hamlet where we have ski in, ski out, which is quite rare in Val d'Isere. We've got a lot of hamlets that are actually close from skiing, but not actually ski in, ski out. So Le Dye, that's one of its main characters. The market in Le Dye is really different from the one that's in Val d'Isere, in the centre of Val d'Isere. We're closer from the market in Tignes in terms of pricing, because of its access from the centre. But it's, I mean, if you're looking for an apartment just for skiing, I mean, it's great. You just arrive skiing down in Le Dye, so that's pretty interesting. The views are really nice as well. Quite a lot of sun as well in Le Dye. Then at the opposite, we have Le Fournet, which is as well quite far from for Val d'Isere, I mean, from the village centre, so that we depend as well on either the car or the bus to go in the centre. So these are the 2 hamlets that are probably far from the centre. The Fournet is, I mean, it's one of the nicest places in the Alps. It's a little hamlet that has only chalets. It's only stone. It's only wood. It's one of the oldest parts of the village. So I mean, it's got a ski access as well. So slopes come down in Le Fournet. So it's a really calm area. No shops, no facilities in Livorno as well. So that's what our clients are looking for as well. Being in Livorno, it's being a little bit cut from society. Well, from the village itself. It's really nice, really nice place. And then I mean, once you're in Valzère, so we've got obviously a lot of different hamlets, but they all gravitate around the centre, and if we're in that part, we're talking about less than a 15 minutes walk from anything really. So that makes it really simple as well for our clients, because wherever you're in that part, well, you're close from everything pretty much. So there we go.
Just to understand, Tom, so I'm sure there has some variation, but can you just give us a kind of ideal or a rough price per square meter that you're going to get from Ladai, the centre, and Livorno? How does it vary?
Well, it varies. Well, first, depending on where you're located in Valzère, as well depends on what kind of property you're looking for. If we talk about a studio, wherever you're in Valzère, we're going to talk about 10 to 15,000 euros a square meter.
Okay.
The price per square meter in Valzère is mostly based on its on the number of bedrooms, really, of the apartment. So if we're looking at more than 3 bedrooms, just to compare between Ladai, Livorno, the centre, we'd be talking for 3-bed in Ladai around 12 to 13,000 euros a square meter. Obviously, depending if it's refurbished, not refurbished, or well, different.
Which is similar to what Teen has in its main area, isn't it? The Ladai is 12 to 13. Teen is around the same, 12 to 13.
Exactly. So I mean, the Ladai market is really close from Teen, and if we go on the Livorno for 3-bedroom, we're going to be talking more around 18 to 20, 23, 24,000 euros a square meter. It really depends as well if it's in a recent development or if it's in an old local house as well. But that's more about it. And what's interesting with the Livorno is, in fact, 5 years ago, nobody really considered the Livorno, knowing it was quite far. So the prices have gone completely crazy in the Livorno in the last 5 years, and that was still not on the prices that we find in the village centre. But I mean, we're getting really close to it, and so it's been.
Is there, in just specifically, I know Livorno pretty well. Is there room for more development, or is it kind of maxed out now and the resale market's kicking in?
Well, I mean, Livorno and Valzère are quite similar in a way, because of we've got a lot of areas that are basically, I mean, when you come to Valzère, there's a lot of room. You think, well, we can build here and here, but actually we've got a lot of avalanche risk in Valzère, which in a way, as a local as well, is quite interesting and quite good for the ski resort. That means we can't extend too much as well. So new developments today, and as I said, I'm talking about the Livorno, but it's the case as well in Valzère, except, well, basically buying an existing building and
renovating
or rebuilding it completely. There's no real expansion solution really.
So what's the price per square meter in the centre of town? You said it's roughly about. It must be slightly higher than the Livorno at the moment. What's the kind of average bedroom there?
Well, it's going to be a big difference, but it really depends as well on the floor. I mean, if you're on the last floor today, the maximum price per square meter we find in Valzère is in new built on top floors. We're talking about 55,000 euros a square meter.
Wow,
knowing on that you can claim your VAT back. You've got lower notary fees as well. So that's to take into consideration as well. But generally on the 3-bedroom, now it's really complicated to find less than 20,000 euros square meter in the center of Val d'Isère.
This is kind of opening up so many questions for me. I'm so interested by the market in Val d'Isère. Firstly, what do you think? What do you think justifies? What is the appeal for Val d'Isère that justifies the prices that are kind of being offered?
Well, I think there's several reasons. Is first, Val d'Isère, as I said earlier, is one of the only ski resorts where all gravitates around one center, so it makes it really easy to just walk around, and the access to everything is really easy. Secondly, we can't build more than what we actually have. As I said, what we build is actually existing lots that are actually, well, all refurbished or renovated. So there's not more apartments in a way. And we usually, developers usually take big residencies that are where we find a lot of studios and actually do bigger apartments. So we actually have almost less and less apartments in a way. So that's one fact. The fact that the ski conditions have always been amazing in Val d'Isère. We've always guaranteed our openings. We open end of November and we close end of May, beginning of May. Sorry. So that's really interesting. And even on periods where and winters where we don't have too much snow, the fact that Val d'Isère has all their slopes coming down to the ski resorts exposed on the north part, exposed north, that means even on years we don't have a lot of snow, we're actually able to keep it because it's quite cold in a way. So, I mean, we know that Val d'Isère, one problem that we have and what people tend to say is that there's not a lot of sun, which in a way saves us, saves the fact that we're able to actually keep the snow because of not having too much sun in a way.
So, Tom, something you mentioned earlier, which is really interesting to me. So, obviously, if you go through the funnel of buyers' inquiries, you always get a lot more people that want to kind of live the dream but can't necessarily afford it. So, you get a lot of people that are inquiring after studio properties, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and there's a lot of resorts that kind of offer that. But you're kind of suggesting that that's not in demand in Val d'Isère, and the demand is from 3-bedroom, maybe upwards. Why is that?
No, basically originally Val d'Isère, when it started to be a ski resort, it's been built to actually bring as many tourists as possible. So it was a lot of little units. It was studios. So we've always had a lot of studios in Val d'Isère or small apartments. The big apartments that we had, well, except a few exceptions, but were mostly locals that had big apartments. So now what we're finding out is because of the clients that have changed, the demand has changed, and Val d'Isère is now quite a high-standing ski resort in the Alps. So people looking for comfort, people are looking for bigger apartments. Our clients are looking to come with their families and friends. So that's why now in development, new builds, basically we can't find small apartments in new build. We start on a minimum of roughly 80 square meters up to 400 square meters in new build to actually respond to that demand on bigger apartments. But we do have every type of apartments, from the studio to basically to the chalet. but new build now is really concentrating on bigger apartments. Exactly.
Yeah. So obviously, we're, as you said, the new builds in terms of people doing the renovation stuff. For me, Val d'Isere has clearly positioned itself as a luxury market compared to some of, like the other resorts and even satellite resorts. We're kind of fully aware of that. I forgot my question now. Let me move on. I will come back to it because it was a really important one. What is the kind of future for Val d'Isere and the kind of development and the pipeline that you have going on there?
Well, first in terms of snow, we're quite we're even really optimistic about this. What makes as well the price as well in Val d'Isere is that there's quite a general how to say it. People are quite worried to invest in lower ski resorts now. So we've got, even that we usually had a big demand in Val d'Isere, we've got as well all these people that are not too sure of investing in lower ski resorts that are now as well looking in higher ski resorts. So
yeah.
So that's one thing. Could you just ask your question again? Sorry.
Yeah, I come back. So, like, in terms of the 3-bedroom, we see kind of a lot of people that are kind of like, they have a desire to be in Val d'Isere, but in our experience, and it might not be your experience, so I'm happy to hear the other side of it. They can't find what they're looking for. How much property do you actually kind of have available? How quickly kind of does it turn over? And do you have the same thing? Because obviously you're not building in red zones where there's avalanches, and you can only have kind of what you have, right? So is it particularly easy to find people property, and kind of how quickly is that turnover of property?
It's I mean, Val d'Isere, we've got a lot of demand. So I mean, we've got probably 95% of demand and 5% of offer. So what makes it quite difficult to find a property in Val d'Isere.
Just to interrupt there, so how typically is probably another one to the question. How typically do the proper properties, like the ones that have kind of been renovated, great location, how long do they even last on the market? And for anyone that's even considering, can they afford to wait? Like, we get a lot of people that go like, yeah, I like that property, I'll come and see it in 4 weeks. What you're kind of telling me is that if they wait 4 weeks, it won't even be available.
Well, yeah. I mean, apartments can go really quick as well. I mean, if we're talking about top floors, depending on the location, the exact location, that, I mean, matters a lot. And there are apartments that can go really quick. I mean, usually an apartment in Val d'Isere doesn't stay more than 2 months on the market. The fact is, we're in 2 years now where we have a lot of new built as well. So I think that obviously these properties don't go all at the same time. So I mean it can take a little bit longer as well to sell, because we've got at the moment a lot of new built, which is really good in a way, because we've got quite a lot to offer our clients now. So I mean, there's no rush in a way either. I think that what's interesting with Cimalpes is our clients. We know them really well. We qualify them really well as well. So I mean, when we have an apartment that pops out, sometimes we don't even actually market it. We know our clients so well that we just call them. We know that what they are looking for, and say, well, listen, I just have this apartment for sale that's in the location you were looking for, at the price you were looking for. It's a one-off basically, and there's a lot of one-offs in Val d'Isere as well. So that happens quite a lot.
Yeah, and I assume that's a pretty good marketing ploy there, Tom. So if anyone that's listening that wants to be in that, you need to contact Tom, and then he can call you up and then sell you an apartment. That's pretty much how it works, right? So what's considered like within Val d'Isere? What areas are considered like the premium places where people generally want to, there's a real rush for property, and even in that area, does much property become available?
So we've got, I mean, the village centre, the old village is probably the most looked for location in Val d'Isere because it's close from the centre, it's really, really quiet, and it's got that architectural look that everyone loves in Val d'Isere and what they're actually looking for when they come to Val d'Isere. So, I mean, that area is really looked for. So we rarely have apartments there for sale because a lot of locals live here as well. The Olympic Avenue, the nursery, well, the close from the nursery slopes. That's, I mean, the premium location. The problem here is we've got a lot of hotels as well on the nursery slopes, so not too much apartments either. La Legertaz is one of the new hamlets that have boomed in the last 5 years as well, and that answers to a problem we have in Val d'Isere. As I was saying earlier, we have a lot of close from slopes, but we don't actually have a lot of actual ski and ski out. And La Legertaz is ski and ski out. I mean, and so that is one of the hamlets that have gone completely crazy in Val d'Isere since the last 3-4 years, with a lot of new developments in that area. The prices have gone from 5 years ago, we valued 12 to 13,000 euros a square meter. Now we're valuing it over 30,000 euros a square meter. So it's gone, and it's a real premium hamlet as well, where you have only premium apartments, chalets. So it's quite interesting.
It sounds like, I think with other resorts that may be a little bit more spaced out, if you bought in Val d'Isere, am I right in saying that it seems like a pretty liquid market? So in terms of you selling it, you could pretty much sell anything within reason within probably 2 months of you putting it on the market. Would you say so?
Exactly.
And you probably wouldn't lose money doing it, I assume.
No. What we tend to say is, a lot of people ask us, I mean, they're willing to rent their property while they're not here. The rental market and the rental investment is probably not really interesting in Val d'Isere in terms of what you'll gain on the rental compared to what you've invested in the property. But the real investment is, we've got a market that grows so much over the years that what you're actually buying is going to obviously gain value, and you'll sell it with a plus value at the end, whatever happens, really.
That's interesting, Tom. Can we just kind of segue onto something just to kind of like eradicate the question for people that are considering? So obviously, I've just spoke to your colleague Seb in Teen, and not that it's predominant, but there is obviously a lot of buy-to-let options. So if people aren't asking about the ROI on the properties in Val d'Isere, is most of them outright purchases, or do you still have some buy-to-let options in resort?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Do you have any kind of buy-to-let options in resort, or are most people doing it for, as you said, maybe lifestyle and then the capital appreciation at the end?
It's the main reason people buy in Val d'Isere. It's first for them and to enjoy the property, and it's for them first. The rental is more like if they don't use it, they usually rent it. It covers the fees of the co-pro. It covers a part of the investment, but that's not why people buy in Val d'Isere. First reason.
So these are kind of leading me on to other things. So in terms of, again, what Seb said about warm beds in Val d'Isere, if you have predominantly a market where there's a lot of ownership with no necessity to rent, are you still getting a lot of people that are doing the rentals to make Val d'Isere active in both summer and winter, or does it tend to have periods where nobody's there?
We do have periods where nobody's there. I mean, obviously, winter is the main period where people come to Val d'Isere, where the whole village is actually open. All the hotels, all the shops are open. Summer has been probably put apart for quite a long time. We usually always had a lot of owners that came back during the summer, but that was mainly it. But since COVID, I mean, we're really considering summer because of right after COVID, basically, we've done the best summer ever. And
can I just expand on that, Tom? Why was that? Because I personally, for me, like, Val d'Isere has always been specific for a winter resort, and for me, one of the best winter resorts that I've been to. But it doesn't have the best reputation for summer. So, is there a concerted push to make it more people come in the summer? And do you know any plans of how they're going to do that?
Well, the main reason Val d'Isere is not to look for as a summer summer resort is the fact that first we're actually an hour drive more than any other ski resorts in the Alps, really. So it's quite far. But I mean, if you come to Val d'Isere, it's a deserved as well place. So I think that there, as I said, there's a real we really considerate summer now. In terms of rental point of view, we're not able today to say, well, it's interesting for rentals. Most of our clients on the summer take off their properties off the rental market because it's not that interesting for them. But I mean, in terms of activities in Val d'Isere and around, I mean, we've got the Col de Liseron, which is the highest col in Europe. So it's really different. I mean, in winter, we're a high standing ski resort, really. I mean, with a real sport aspect as well. But in the summer, it's really different. It's like an alpine village more than a real resort itself. It's completely different. People love the summer in Val d'Isere, and I think we've got a lot of clients that are actually not coming to Val d'Isere in the summer because they didn't actually know Val d'Isere in the summer, and once they purchased the property to actually use it in the winter, came in the summer, and now they always come in the summer. So,
I think it's important to kind of give some perspective on obviously the summer and winter. We always have to deal with every conversation in terms of obviously the climate change, in terms of having that kind of all-round dual season resort that we kind of propped up about 10 years ago that isn't just predominantly skiing. It's a mixture of everything in terms of the mountain biking, the markets, the activities that are going on. I think Seb in Teen suggested that it's part of the Tour de France that goes past Val d'Isere as well. So there's obviously things going on, but I think maybe that it just needs to have a little bit of good PR to kind of drive a lot of people to Val d'Isere in the summer. It seems like the only people that really know it are the owners at the moment. So it's your recommendation that you should try Val d'Isere in the summer as well.
Exactly, because people that don't come in the summer haven't tried Val d'Isere in the summer, to be honest. And all the clients I've been talking to that actually have come for the first time in Val d'Isere in the summer now are planning to come over the years. So I mean, it's not known enough, probably, and I mean, there's plenty of activities as well in Val d'Isere, around Val d'Isere. I mean, it's an hour and a half drive from Italy. You can go. Well, we've got the Col, so I mean, a lot of cycling, a lot of hiking, a lot of different activities. I have to say that all the village is not open. We only have 6 to 7 hotels open. All the shop in the main street are open. So
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a real nice general activity, but it's really different. Even the clients change it as well.
Yeah.
But it's fresh air. It's really different. Really different.
Just what you say about the client, I'm kind of interested about that. What is your typical clientele for buyers in Val d'Isere, would you say?
In terms of nationality.
No, not in terms of nationalities you can do, but kind of like the general feeling of what people. If you're looking, for example, teen is an easy comparison. The people
Okay.
are looking at maybe lesser lifestyle, a bit more investment, opportunity in that sense. What would you say that was in Val d'Isere? Which type of people they're attracted? People that are kind of based in Geneva, that
Of
kind of come
course.
back for the weekend, a little bit more money.
Well, Val d'Isere is for as we tend to say for Val d'Isere lovers. I mean, usually people that want Val d'Isere want nothing else than Val d'Isere.
Yeah, I understand. I fully understand that. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
So because of its, as I said, it's easy. It's on one level. It's one ski resort. It's the architecture in Val d'Isere is just outstunning. It's only wood, stone, and that's what people love in Val d'Isere. It's the architectural taste is preserved. Even in the new build we have in Val d'Isere, from an exterior point of view, it looks like it's always been there, really. So, so it's a real village that lives all year round. Obviously, if you come in November, I wouldn't recommend either to come, but it's a real little village, and I think it's, even if we tend to say it's a high standing ski resort, which it is in a way, it's people are coming here for the ski, mostly for the ski conditions. I mean, we've got an amazing ski area with teen as well, off piste and on piste. So people come to Val d'Isere for the village and the skiing, and obviously because we're becoming a really high standing ski resort. But it's not like Megève, where you've got a really nice clientele, but that doesn't obviously come there for skiing, and there's only come here for ski and après ski. Well, not ski, just après ski, and so there we are. I mean, we people mainly come here for the ski.
Yeah. Still, that's the case.
100%.
Slightly higher clientele, want a little bit more in terms of the luxury product in a beautiful resort at altitude, but still predominantly for the skiing.
Exactly.
No, it's a good one. As I said to Seb, I know you know him, so I always reference. But if you could buy in Val d'Isere, what would you purchase? Let's say I gave you a budget. Let's not go too crazy, but if I gave you a budget of around, which is I guess out the funnel, around $2 million, what would you consider as a good? But you're going to tell me nothing's available at $2 million, aren't you? $2 million, I think, is a good price point. Where would you consider? What do you think you can get in terms of value for money? It's very difficult to find the buyers, and I'm not saying they're not out there, but at the 10, 15, 20 million, there's less as you kind of go through the funnel. So if everyone had like around $2.5 million to spend, where would you be looking?
Well, for me, wherever you would buy in Val d'Isere with 2 million in any budget, you wouldn't lose your money. It's always a question of taste, of what you're looking for. If the access to village is more a priority from the ski access, or but I mean, if it's an investment point of view, do you mean, or if it's?
Well, no, I'm talking about you specifically. Where would you buy? Not from a buyer's point of view. I've given you a 2 million budget that suits your lifestyle. Where would you be purchasing?
Well, I'd be purchasing in probably Le Cray or Le Fournet, because it's two really calm areas. I would purchase in these areas because if you're living all year round here, that's where you want to be. If you're just coming for a week in Val d'Isere, well, each time you come, it's just for a week or 10 days. It's probably not the best place to be because
you're looking for convenience if you're coming for.
Exactly. But I mean, if you're looking long stays to be in a calm area, I mean that's the two main locations I'd be looking at.
Just out of interest, Tom, how in a car, just to give people some perspective, in a car, how far is it to drive from Val d'Isere Centre to Le Fournet?
It's not even a 5-minute drive.
Oh, not even 5 minutes.
We tend to say it's far because it's far for Val d'Isere, but if you compare it to everything, I mean, it's literally right next door.
And parking in Val d'Isere an issue, or is it pretty easy?
It's pretty easy, I'd say. The parking has always been a real subject in Val d'Isere, because we've always had more apartments than the parking spaces. So now there's no real issue. What's really interesting in Val d'Isere is you arrive on the Saturday, on the Sunday, you leave your car in the garage and you don't use it at all during your stay. So, I mean, while you're in Val d'Isere, you don't use your car. You just use a car to come to Val d'Isere and to leave Val d'Isere. While you're here, you don't even touch your car, which is really, well, as we were comparing to the ski resorts that are on levels, you depend on your car or on the bus. Val d'Isere, you actually don't depend at all on your car.
Yeah, everything's within pretty much walking distance.
Yeah, and the buses are really regular. They're free. I mean, that's what makes it really easy as well.
Yeah. Tom, I think we'll wrap it up there. We've given a brilliant account of everything that's kind of available, price per square meterage, obviously access to everything, what makes Val d'Isere appealing, how the winter season's kind of shaping up. Before you go, I just want to ask you one question. If you had one day to ski, would you ski in Val d'Isere or Tignes?
100% in Val d'Isere.
Is that the honest truth?
Oh, that's the most, nothing but honesty on that point.
Okay. We will believe you. What's your favourite run there then?
I'll probably say the OK or the Fast Belvard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I should have said from maybe a bit of more of an intermediate skier if your favourite one is the fast.
The Oreille Keeley, so the OK slope is probably the best slope. Or the Mongara as well that comes down in the Fournet is really nice as well.
Yeah, actually, although we wrap this up, didn't they develop a blue run that went down into Val d'Isere not many years ago? Maybe I'm wrong. I thought, because I always kind of got the impression that coming into Val d'Isere was never the easiest run home, and I thought that they kind of changed one of the runs to be a blue run to make it a little bit more accessible to people.
That's one of our main issues here in Val d'Isere, which for me is not obviously an issue, probably because, but I think that what's difficult for Val d'Isere is coming back to the ski resort. It'd be only a red or a black run. Even our blue runs are mostly considered as red runs, which doesn't make it easy. But that's why I was saying, I mean, people that are coming to Val d'Isere want the village and are really good skiers. Because and that's why we don't have too many Russians. They're more likely to they like just skiing for pleasure, easy skiing. Well, all the Arab clientele as well from there. That's why we don't have too many in Val d'Isere as well, because they're looking more for I would say easy skiing. Val d'Isere is real sports skiing, and that's why, I mean, we've got a lot of Brits in Val d'Isere because Brits are really good skiers, that's one of the.
I think from the British clientele, like Val d'Isère is so synonymous with ski resorts, and it's such a strong desire to want to go there. And I think, as you said, for the ambience, for the skiing itself, and just having such a beautiful town. So yeah, it's why I go for sure. Tom, thank you so much for your time. I will leave you to it, but I really appreciate your time. I will put in all the links below for if anyone wants to get in touch with Tom and buy a beautiful property, then Tom can certainly help you.
And I know, as I was just to come back on one point, is that what I find crazy is we've got more and more people that come from South America, even Canada and America, where even people come from Aspen. Because of the snow conditions here in Val d'Isère. I mean, it's really different snow. It's a different ski level as well. So there we go.
Tom, that's a wonderful point to finish on. Thanks for your time, buddy.
Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye, Mark. Pleasure.